Oh, that is a nice copper coin. But oh, Doug, do you know what time it is?
45 up.
Who says 45 of, Doug? It's quarter after. Who says 45 of? Doug says 45 of. What's up, guys? Quarter order here. Welcome back. It seems like we haven't done the quarter after in, I don't even know, 2 or 3 weeks. I guess that's normal, though. But we got a fun show for tonight, a long show, 3 houses, some really cool finds, a whole lot of fun coming up tonight. It should be a lot of laughs, so I'm glad everybody made it. Before I bring the guys and lady in, I do want to say thank you to Teresa, the treasure hunter, who is one of my moderators in the chat, always does a super good job. Thanks, Teresa. And I saw Alicia, Hot Mess Fishing, was in there, another one of the moderators. Thank you both for hanging out. It should be a fun time. I see, oh, look, Flash in their pan is in here. What's up, Flash? Tom Kingery, Marty Vistrol, who we hunted with out in Iowa, Reagan Kendrick, Dirty Paws Detecting, Jay Diggs History, Jersey Ray Diggs, who also made that trip out to Iowa. That was a lot of fun. Doug and Charlie and I were out there. Always a great hunt. DeRay Lucci, if I'm pronouncing that right. That's a new name. How are you? Mud Swat is here. Smoking Louie, glad to see you. Smoking Louie is a regular. I'm gonna say he's a regular now. He's a good guy. But let me bring in a regular of my own, Mr. Dog Tag Doug, Mexican Doug Jane. Fine, Doug. How are you, Dougie?
Feeling great.
What's on your hat this week, Doug? Is that a Nokta hat?
Absolutely. The legend.
You are a legend, Doug.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
My own one.
Let's bring in another legend we have here, Charles J. Harley, the Heritage Relic Hunter. How are you, Charlie?
I'm doing great.
Charlie sporting the Excalibur shovel hat. Over the last 2 weeks, Doug, I know Doug got his, I got mine, Rich got his, and now Charlie has his. The entire crew outfitted with amazing, colorful, strong, powerful Excalibur shovels. You'll be seeing them unleashed in the upcoming videos. And what's on your shirt, Charlie? Let's get hammered. That's not appropriate.
Charlie wears that hat like he's in the hood.
We had quite an adventure this weekend, Doug. We might touch on it later this episode. Okay. If not, it'll be on the next one. But one of the most rewarding hunts that we've ever gone on. We traveled almost 17 hours round trip to get to this historic place that we will maybe touch on. If not, in 2 weeks, we'll definitely touch on it.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a lot of fun. And talking about touching, let's bring in Rich and Lynn.
What?
I'm not sure what it's like.
Because we're sitting right next to each other.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
Rich and Lindiana Jones, Doug.
Such an appropriate comment with a mother and son.
Yeah, really.
We have to get Lynn to make a sticker. Look, Jay Diggs History alluding to where we went. He said he saw the 60-minute special. I don't know if I'm going to let the cat out of the bag yet, because when we talk about it, I want to have pictures and video and clips and things like that. I'm not really prepared. We just got home, 24 hours, 30 hours ago. But it was a historic home with an amazing story. 60 Minutes did a whole show on it, and we were able to go down and add to their story. We'll touch on that.
Amazing family.
Oh, the family was great. Everything about it was fabulous. But like I said, that will be a story for another day, Doug.
How do we get so lucky to get such great homeowners and property owners?
I will say that, can you even remember the last time we had a nasty property owner or someone that was rude in any way?
No.
Never been one.
I guess the jerks don't really let you give you permission in the first place.
No, that's true.
We wouldn't be singing their praises, would we?
No. NEPA History and Archaeology search. I'll text you a link to the 60 Minutes after the show. Like I said, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag early. When I get my thing, I'll probably maybe have the 60 minutes. Maybe we'll even play their 60 minutes as we talk about it and then lead into it, Doug. All sorts of incredible.
We have a lot of ground to cover before we get there, though.
Yeah, I mean, there was 3 videos worth of stuff that we have to get into today, and some really crazy antics, including what I'm going to say, Doug, was the funniest laugh out loud moment I think we've ever had on the show.
That's the hardest I've ever seen you laugh.
I can't tell you how many people were calling me and messaging me, sending me videos of them watching it, laughing out loud.
Well, Doug deserves an award.
Doug won an Academy Award for that performance. Yep. The whole thing was terrific. Normally, that kind of stuff I don't put in the video. I save that for I don't even know what. Yeah. Maybe I'll do a blooper thing. Yeah. But it was so funny that I put it into a video that was already like 27 minutes long, and I was like, man, I'm pushing a half an hour now.
Everybody seemed to like it, though.
Well, it was so good. I mean, I couldn't not put it on. And I'm going to start the picks for this one in a second. We have a lot to get through, and I do want to announce, and I'll make an announcement on it later too. Next week, Doug, 1 week from today, 7 moon turns from this night, we'll be back for yet another special edition Quarter After, where we're going to have a guest on. Doug, you know I love having fun guests on. Mm-hmm. This one is a good friend of mine. Doug, would you like to announce who next week's special guest will be?
You want me to give the whole thing away?
That's what I just said. Yeah, we have to advertise it.
Green Mountain Metal Detecting, Brad Martin.
Yes, Brad is going to be on next week. 1 hour solo. I don't even want to say an interview, because I kind of think of us as like pretty good friends with Brad already.
Yeah, I think he likes you more than me.
Yeah, well, everyone likes me more than you.
He likes you and Rick.
People like me, and people tolerate you.
I think I adore him.
But no, we're going to have Brad on. Great guy, terrific channel. So many things I'm going to talk to him about is all the videos he puts out, the incredible, artistic eye that he has, the movie that he made. Always a lot going on with Brad. Great guest next week, so make sure you tune in for the special Quarter After. Now, I can't see colors, Doug. I'm colorblind. So to me, he's just mountain. He's just mountain Brad. There's no green.
All Brad has to deal with is green and brown.
Right. Yeah. To me, he's just mountain Brad. Mountain Brad is a whole different connotation. Like, I'm picturing like a long beard, like raccoon hat.
Yeah,
when you put the word green in, it changes the whole perception.
Yeah. I think let's see what happens when he gets older. He may embrace the mountain look.
See if he can wear a raccoon hat. I don't know if he has one.
Do they even have raccoons in Vermont?
Well, Karen's here. I thought I saw Karen.
Do they have raccoons in Vermont?
Karen's from Vermont. She's a Vermontier.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have. I mean, raccoons are everywhere, Doug.
Are they?
I think Karen has a pet raccoon in her backyard.
No.
Because
even with all those dogs, huh?
Look, even Rachel says she's got a permission in Vermont. That's a heck of a drive. We just took a super long hunt this weekend. I think I'm going to try to stay within an hour.
A little closer to home.
Yeah, for the next month. Charlie and I drove down together. I mean, holy cow, Charlie. It was like 8-9 hours down, 9 hours
you know what,
back.
Jason? You know
What's
what?
That?
We talked all the way down. We talked all the way back.
Yeah, I know more about
Here's
Charlie than any. Ask me a trivia question about Charlie, Doug, and I'll tell you the answer. I thought Charlie would fall asleep and take a nap.
These questions before I ask them.
He was a good co-pilot. He stayed awake the whole time and talked. A lot of time, like my wife, within 20 minutes, she'd be out cold, and it's just me.
Well, what am I, chopped liver?
No, you too. But usually, if we go that far, we fly. We haven't driven that far in a long, long time.
Yeah.
Jason, what is Charlie's favorite breakfast food?
I know what it's not. Fatbacks. We had them at a restaurant there. They were disgusting.
It's disgusting.
Wait a minute. I made a great living with them, and Rich continues to make a living.
Yours are like dried though. These were actual fatbacks we got for breakfast because when in Rome you want to try something. Doug, it tasted like it was a rhinoceros booger stuck to a seashell. It was that disgusting.
Now, did you have any?
Good thing you just gave us a sample. It's just a sample. We didn't have to pay for it.
Yeah, just to say, oh, Bill Weaver, thank you for letting me detect vicariously until you beat this cancer. Oh, Bill, I'm sorry to hear it, brother. You were awesome folk and give me something to look forward to. I hope you a good health, Bill, and thank you. We do try to put smiles on faces, my friend.
Charlie, did you have any grits?
No, we did. Well, I've had grits before with you. We went down there.
Yeah.
But all over the menu it said fatbacks, and I had heard of your fatbacks, like the air dried ones that come in a shelf-stable bag.
Yeah.
These were the actual like off the animal fatback.
Okay.
I didn't know what it was. The woman did a poor job describing what it was, so I said, "Well, can you bring me one?" And that was the biggest mistake of my life, Doug. It almost broke my every bite almost broke my teeth. I don't know how anyone chews them. And then the sticky parts were just disgusting.
Doug, we get down there. We didn't bring any food with us. The idea was we get down there, we'd buy food. We get down there and there's nothing around for miles. Yeah. So my supper was peaches.
There ain't a Wawa in every corner.
Peaches, and my lunch was peaches. There's nothing around it. No place to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was not much. The restaurant we went to was like 40 minutes from where we were staying. It was desolate.
That's actually one of the reasons I invited you to dinner, so you'd have something to eat.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we stopped at gas stations along the way and all that, but
nothing like gas station food.
Yeah, like you don't want to have a gas station hot dog for dinner. You know, that's just it's not good.
Then you'd really get to know Charlie.
Well, we had our own room, luckily, and Charlie had his own bathroom.
Yeah.
So, once he went in his room, I was done seeing him until the next day. You know?
It was pretty nice. It was nice.
Yeah, it was a real interesting cabin. We'll put pictures of it up when the video comes up. The cabin, Rich, was what did he call it, Charlie? What the style?
It was a nano house. Nano.
A nano house, Rich.
N-A-N-O. Nano house.
Half of it was wood and half of it was steel with like I-beams and steel walls and cinder blocks. But then it was wood. It was and
it was built into the earth.
Like a mountain.
Yes.
Yeah, beautiful. it was like futuristic, but yet in the past, like going in both time worlds.
Now,
when I heard that we're going to stay in a cabin, I was thinking of a Pennsylvania cabin. You open the door and the cobwebs are on your face.
Whole different type of cabin.
No, it was nothing like that.
The bugs run away, spiders crawl. That's the type of cabin I was expecting, a Pennsylvania farmhouse cabin.
And what kind of cabin? What is it called?
Nano
cabin.
Not like Mork Nanu cabin.
Yeah.
Like Mork.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, it was nice, and it was way out in the middle of nowhere.
Yes, it is.
No cell reception, no internet. I'm not used to being that, off the grid like that for days at a time.
Yes.
But Doug, let's start this shindig because I don't want to be here till midnight necessarily.
You don't? I got an Eagles game and a Phillies game to watch, so get going.
Yeah. All right, let me see. All right, so Doug, there was 3 videos. I'm going to try to fly through the first one because the second one was the one we had so much fun on. But now, do you remember? Now, I always say you remember, like Doug forgets, but that's just how I lead in. Everybody out there probably remembers Frank and Terina. They were with us on the live show 2-3 weeks ago. They hunted the last place with us that had the smokehouse. But when we did their house, I don't know, a year and a half ago or so, we went back one extra time, and that video just never aired. I have a lot of videos, Doug, maybe, I don't even know, 12, 15, that for whatever reason just never aired.
Yeah, I got a lot of good finds hiding in your computer.
Yeah, eventually they'll come out, eventually. But because they were back in the fold again, I said, let me put this extra video out of our last day doing Frank and Terina's. And that's what this first clip's going to cover. So let me see if we can start this. I'm going to try to fly through this one, Doug.
While you're flying into that, I was contacted by Frank the other day. He's got another piece of property that butts up to his.
Don't announce where it is live on the air, please.
I'm not saying anything more than that.
Okay.
So,
okay.
But I told him it could be a few weeks out. So.
Okay. All right. Let me bring this up. Hold on. Let me bring it up here. Okay. So I don't even remember. Oh, the first one was obviously Frank and Terina here. Let me see if I can get off here. Now, back then, for whatever reason, Doug was growing that weird, like, Fu Manchu beard. That's how you know it was, like, last year.
Yeah.
And honestly, I mean, Lynn, what do you think? I mean, do you like Doug with the beard, or do you like a clean-shaven Doug?
I usually like clean shaven, but I liked that on Doug. I really did.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I thought it kind of made him look like
an old man,
rough crime dog, you know, like.
Well,
I think he looks younger with it.
yeah, I know. I just liked it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe you'll grow it back, Doug. Well, I don't know.
If we have a cold winter, I will.
I like clean-shaven Doug. It looks
Are we ever
friendlier.
gonna have a cold winter again?
Maybe.
It's easy.
You never know.
Well, anyway, Doug had the first finds of the day, and that's why Doug leads off the show. This was the first find, Rich. He actually found one, and then later on found the other. The one on the left he found first, and when he handed it to me, I broke the tie off. So when he had
200 years it's in the ground. I pulled it out in 5 minutes.
I didn't even
breaks
think about it. It was jostling around like it was free moving. I didn't think I manhandled it, but it snapped right off. I did feel bad.
Now, I know we don't make a big deal out of buckles typically, but this was so different from what we've ever found. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I still don't know. Lynn, what do you think they're from?
They look kind of lightweight, aren't they?
Definitely lightweight.
Well, they are lightweight, but they're solid. They are solid, except for the design.
There was 2 of them, and they were close together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Within feet of each other.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think they're colonial, but
you don't.
Well,
I
thought they were like early mid 1800s.
I would say 1800s.
Does anyone have a buckle book that we might reference?
I do, just not here. But.
I do also, but you know how many buckles there are. It's hard to find, and they're not categorized real well. You have to just turn page to page to page. It could be a sash buckle, Karen. I see her, Karen, in the chat. The fact that there was 2, could be. I really don't know, but it was a great find, even if we're not sure what it exactly.
It would have been a double-breasted sash.
Yeah. whatever Doug says. All right, let's see. Moving on from Doug's awesome buckle. Terina again, who was kind of the star of the day. She had some of the best finds, considering it was really only the first day she used a detector for the whole day.
She's got the nicest smile, that's for sure.
Yeah, much better than ours. This was her first find that she thought was a silver coin. Turned out it was a Sunoco gas token. Doug, you know how they even fool us.
Yes.
They look good. They sound good. The size is right.
Yep.
The size of an 8 real.
Yeah, I mean, they look good. And I think I had a picture up of.
There you are.
Yeah, those are all the whole set. Which I've never really tried to see how many I have. I don't think I have near the set. I might have 5 or 6. But that would be an interesting thing, Doug, if we pooled our Sunocos together and tried to see if we can get the complete set. Yeah. I see Teresa, the treasure hunter, in the chat. I'll give a shout out that next week Charlie is flying out there to spend the week with her out in Wyoming. Charlie?
Yes, we're going to land in South Dakota, and we'll spend time with her there and do some touring. Then we're going to head out to her home, her new home that she has.
Are you flying out in a biplane, Charlie?
Yeah, how'd you know? I'm going to put Judy on the wing.
Because I've been out there. We don't have airports.
Well, it's going to be a fun one. I want to see some pictures, Charlie, when you get out there with Teresa.
Put Judy on the wing.
All right, so the Sunoco tokens. Let's see what else we got. Like I said, I'm going to try to get through this quick.
There's Charlie.
I got a picture of Charlie because it was so stinking hot this day, Doug.
Yeah.
Charlie was out there for like maybe 15 minutes, but no shade. dying out there. This summer's been even brutaler. If you saw our video from this week. But Charlie did have a good token here. Yes. One of these bridge tokens, Doug. We find them a lot for different Philadelphia, Pennsylvania bridges. This one was actually dated. It's hard to see in the picture. 1934.
34. Yeah.
So good find there from Charlie. And I think when you found it, we were like, I forget how it came up, but we started naming TV shows from the 80s. And I didn't realize how little Charlie knew. He never heard of like the A-Team or Webster or MacGyver or any of those shows.
Really? He was busy grading papers.
When those shows were on, I was milking cows.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
I just rewatched MacGyver recently.
Yeah, that was always a favorite of mine, MacGyver.
It's great, but it's so much of its time that it's
well, they're dated, but that's what kind of makes them funny. Too.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the chat, Magnum PI was one. Silver Spoons with Ricky Schroeder. There was all sorts of good shows back then.
You forgot Lawrence Welk.
Was that still the 80s?
No, it was like the 50s.
Yeah, I think it was like the 50s.
No, it was the reruns. The reruns.
Oh, reruns. All right. Well, does that count? Reruns?
No.
Chips. I never liked Chips. I did like A-Team though. All right, let's see. Let's get through this real quick. There's Doug and Terina on the bench. You know, we kept taking breaks from the heat. It was so darn hot. This was one of Doug's best finds of the day. When he called me over, you know, Doug, every find Doug thinks is silver. And this one did kind of fool me. But I mean, every find. Rich, doesn't Doug like anything on his machine above like a 40? This is going to be silver. I know, like everyone. So when Doug says I got silver, I'm not usually running over because I know, he sometimes will cry wolf with the silver. But
he does. In his defense, he does somehow seem to find a lot of things that look like they could be silver.
This definitely did.
Rich finds the silver, and I find the things that look like
you find looks like silver.
Yeah.
But this was one of the best ones I've ever seen, Doug. Now we did spray it down, and it's sprayed down and dried there. It doesn't look as good as when it was wet. When you have silver wet, it just glistens and looks good. But I have a picture of it opened up. This was a really kind of a rare compact by a famous guy.
Richard Hudnut.
Richard Hudnut, that's right. The glass was the mirror was not broken. And the next clip, there was a really long biography that Relic Dog sent me. I didn't put the whole thing in, it would take up the whole screen. But this Richard Hudnut guy was kind of a famous guy. He was related to like the Vanderbilts or something, like the Rockefellers or something. I don't remember the whole story. He was always suing people. He was real big in the cosmetic field. But his cosmetic line, this brass cosmetics, are pretty collectible to this day. So what you found was great. And I put that picture of Doug up because I found a picture of Richard Hudnut, Rich, and I think Doug looks like him a little bit. What do you think?
If he had kept growing the
now Doug's got a hat on, so it's hard to tell, but they got the same resemblance. You got the same sort of facial hair going on.
Yeah, I got a shirt like that too.
So that's Dougie Hudnut.
Yeah. Now I have found previously at the Thousand Holes field 2 Richard Hudnuts, but nowhere near that neat looking.
Yeah, no, that was a nice one. So you and Richard Hudnut, masterpieces.
I'm glad you said that.
All right, after that, Doug found this thing too, which I thought was kind of cool in that same area, which was like an old Gillette razor case.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, and I don't recall, I think Doug yelled he's got silver when he found that too. When it was wet, it was a little shinier.
Yeah, yeah. So, if I didn't say it then, I'll say it now. Hey, I think I got silver.
Yeah. That's why I stay fairly slender, Rich, because I'm always running back and forth to where Doug is.
Yeah.
And that's why I got shovel marks on my back from him whacking me with it.
But silver or not, I thought that was a really cool piece. And it looks like it was probably engraved at one time in the center.
Yeah.
Since, fell apart in the ground. But it might have had a name. It might have said Gillette. I don't even know. Just a couple more here. We're going to get through this. Like I said before.
This was working for the potty.
Well, like I said before, when you film in 4K, I can go frame by frame, and you find some really funny pictures that no one posed like that. I have some really good ones later come for you, Doug. But this was Rich. It looks like something fantastic happened, but it's just the camera happens to catch. He did get that nice old dime, though.
There you go.
1919, and there is a mint mark on there.
Is that a mint mark?
Yeah, it's hard to see. There's an S mint mark. It's not.
Oh, wow, that is small. Yep.
Yeah, it's hard to see, and it's super worn down, that dime. And I remember when he found it, the 1919 is a fairly common Mercury dime, but the 1919 S is not, and we kind of made a little bit of a big deal that, a lot less of those made. All right, we got a couple more. We're done. Like 3 more. Oh, Terina, again, I thought the best find of the day was this lid.
That thing's really cool.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. Maybe a snuff box or a pill box lid. I don't know. Here's one of it cleaned up, Doug.
Now that's sterling.
Yes, that was sterling. And the stone, from what I remember, was purple, Rich.
I think it was, yeah. Probably an amethyst.
During the video, I thought someone had said it was red, but maybe when it was wet, it looked like a different color.
It's definitely purple.
And then I got a really good picture there. I love that faded background picture. I take them a lot of everybody. And some nice comments. Terina rocks. She's a natural.
Yep.
And then I think I got one. Yeah, Smoking Louie, who's in the chat. Trinkets Terina. Sounds like a good nickname. I like that, Smoking Louie. I might reverse it. I like Terina Trinkets a little better. But I like the name. If we go with that, because she's going to probably join us in the winter in some fields.
Right.
I will give Smoking Louie some credit if we decide to go with that. And
Terina will share her manicurist with you. She just had her nails done. So,
well, listen, when you're digging in the dirt, you don't want to have a manicure. Like that's, if I see nails like that, I'm thinking, ooh, teammate. You know what I mean? Because you're not afraid to get your hands in there.
Not afraid to get her hands dirty.
Yeah, like we're doing dirty stuff. We're not runway models. With the exception of Charlie.
Yeah.
So I think that was the first one. Let me minimize this, Doug, while I queue up the second day, which was the majority of the incredible things. But I want to say some hellos. I saw people come in. I see Plugmaster Ford in the chat, Doug. Remember Plugmaster Ford?
Sure I do.
I know. I told you. I like to say, do you remember? Just as a way to bring it up. A good friend of mine, Jeff Plugmaster Ford, who I think is going back to England in a couple of weeks, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
England, yeah.
Peter Lauter, Keep Digging Metal Detecting, Lanely Prater, Audrey Girlinghouse, one of the names I like. Shannon Bortner.
33.
Ocam's Razor. Oh, look at that. That's a cool name, Doug. He probably found the show from the Gillette advertising.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's 237 people hanging out. So
it's a lazy Thursday night. You're going to hang out. We're going to have some really good laughs with this next one. So listen, if you're watching the show tonight, make sure your audio works, and you might want to have some earbuds because in a little bit I've got some audio things that I'm going to replay that I just thought was hilarious. Free Bridge Metal Detecting, Keep Digging Metal Detecting, Jeff Provost, everybody, Crazy Digging. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Prairie Pirate. Is Prairie Pirate David, Charlie?
David.
David, yes. From
I always get the people's names and their usernames combined.
Iowa.
David, Teresa told me you were looking for some stuff. I got busy today getting the show together. I'll text you tomorrow, and I'll take care of you.
Don't forget, guys, in Iowa, when you get coffee at a coffee stop, they say "giddy up."
No, only you say that.
After Ford just said.
Only you say that.
Say it for what?
Team Lynch is here too. I love Team Lynch. Adrian
Jersey.
Tucker, Toledo Tab, 62 Barbecue. Oh, man, I like that. I like things that rhyme, Charlie. Quarter Hoarder. You know that. 62 Barbecue. I like it. All right, let me bring in the second part here, Doug. You awake, Doug?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
Just seeing who's in the chat.
Okay. All right, so before I get into it, Lynn was at one of her antique shows this past weekend. And, whenever anyone comes up to Lynn, we give her those little pictures to hand out, even though Lynn's not in the picture. It's just ridiculous. We have to take another one. But people came up to her, and Lynn, I forget the names. If you can say who's who.
Okay, this is Mary Jane, and the show was up in upstate New York, and we were there for about 5 days at an outdoor show. I just got home about 45 minutes ago.
Oh, you just got home.
Just got home.
Oh, wow.
So,
No jet lag?
No, it hasn't hit me
She drove,
yet.
right?
Yeah.
How far was your drive?
5.5 hours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
well, there's Mary Jane, who
that's Mary Jane.
And got the picture, Doug, of you and I. Always nice for when people can go support Lynn when she's at the antique shows. Always appreciated.
Absolutely.
I think I have one more too, Lynn. Now I will say, listen, if you do go see Lynn at an antique show, don't wear a Stealth Digger shirt. You got to put a I mean, come on. No, I'm only kidding. What's his name, Lynn?
This is Dave.
Dave?
Yep.
All right.
Dave.
And you can see a nice full color there, Doug, of you and I. We need to get better pictures. But I'm glad. It looks like you're outside. This is an outside venue, Lynn?
We're in big tents, like, big, good tents. Well, the interesting thing was we were supposed to set up on Saturday afternoon, and we were delayed by 24 hours because a funky storm came through called a microburst, and it flattened. These are professional tents that are put up by a company, like circus tents. They're really heavy. And this storm flattened and shredded all the tents.
Wow.
They were underwater, and we had to wait another 24 hours while they got more tents up, and it was crazy.
What did you call the storm?
A microburst.
A micro what?
Burst.
Microburst. I never heard of it.
It's a
very dangerous winds.
It was 40 minutes of 80-mile-an-hour winds.
Wow.
And it wasn't nice. And they got everything back up and running within 24 hours, which was great. And the storm is supposedly a storm that drops out of another storm. So
that's weird. I've never heard that, but people in the chat apparently have. I never heard micro. We have them around here, Doug. Micro bursts.
Sure, we've had them. And we had a real bad storm in Jersey. I guess it's been about 10 years ago, and did a lot of damage along the Jersey shore, like the Wharton State Forest and towards the shore. A lot of damage. Usually, I've never heard of them lasting as long as the one Lynn experienced, but they're usually.
I will say, Doug, after we had those breakfast fatbacks, Charlie had some macro bursts. Did a lot of damage.
That's really getting to know Charlie.
They were 80-mile-an-hour winds. No, but all right, Mike. They'll learn something new from me. Micro bursts. And thank you for showing up and checking out Lynn. And what was the name of the show, Lynn? The antique show you were at?
It was called Madison Bouckville. It's up and down Route 20 in New York State, and it's like, I guess, thousands of dealers really, all through the two towns.
All right. Well, next time, no, you don't have one for a while. We'll have to let people know ahead of time. I don't even know if we got a chance to announce this one.
I didn't tell you about this one, but anyway, these people have actually came last year. So they came back again, and that's why they knew about the show and that I was there.
Oh, that's great. Well, thank you, both of them, for showing up.
I appreciate it.
Next time, Lynn, maybe we'll have to outfit you with some shirts to give to people, too. That way they can have
that'd be awesome.
The proper attire. I got the new ones, Lynn, with the shovel and the coil for the cue and all that stuff.
Right. Yeah, the pictures, I'm almost out of pictures anyway.
All right, we'll get you this weekend. We'll hook you up.
Okay.
All right, so let's move this show along, Doug. This was the Heart and Potatoes. I think some really good stuff here. So here's the house we were at, 1740s, 1750. We didn't know the exact date, and we had been to this place maybe 4 or 5 times before.
Yep.
So when we went, I thought we would do pretty good, Lynn, because I knew how much stuff was there, but I didn't think we would do nearly as good as we did do.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
one of those things where detecting truly is never hunted out. And it's not like we found stuff in a new part of the yard. We found it in the same areas we found it the last times we were there.
Right.
So it's pretty remarkable. Let me bring up I don't have my notes queued up. Let me queue up my notes so I know which pictures.
It was a very, very good property.
Yeah.
So let's bring it up here. That was the house. Rich, of course, had the first find. I think like the first 4 finds.
First 6.
You know what I do, Doug, if people don't know, to try to, let me bring us full screen for just a second. When we go out, Rich finds the most things, and he's supposed to. We're BSing with the homeowner. We're exploring around. Rich gets the business. But I don't like the video to be like, Rich, Doug. Rich, Charlie. So sometimes I just mix up the order of things. You know what I mean? So I might put Rich and then Doug and then Rich and then Charlie, even though like Rich finds the first thing, the sun's up. Then the next clip is Doug. It's dark. Then it's back to Rich. The sun's up. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, sometimes it takes that long.
Sometimes it does. But, Rich finds the majority. Rich does dig the most signals. He's the youngest guy getting up and down. He earns everything, but I just don't like the video to be like too Rich heavy. I try to balance scale sometimes. But every video is pretty Rich heavy, wouldn't you say, Doug?
Yeah. Well, it better be.
Yeah, that's why he's there. That's his contribution to the group. Ultimate Finds Box, Eric in the chat.
Yes.
And man, did we use the Ultimate Finds Box at this house. Make sure you check him out, theultimatefindsbox.com. Save all your treasures. I don't know what the slogan is, but they are fantastic. It's downstairs. I don't have it, or I would show it. All right, so Rich's first find of the day was, I think I clicked off, Rich. Hold on, I have to restart it again. These cool name tags, Rich, remember?
Yeah.
Of course you remember.
Wait, what?
Now, both of them, I love the big giant font. They definitely looked old. I actually had like 4 or 5 people message me the same thing, and this one was from Vacuum Tubes Inc. They looked them up, Ancestry.com, do all the legwork, and just message me. I'm incredibly grateful. But the guy's name was Henry A. Cruzen, born in 1864 in Pennsylvania, Bucks County, which is where we were. Died in 1947 and is buried in Bucks County. They didn't know if that was the right guy or not. That was the guy. Now, I don't know if that Cruzen guy lived at the house we were at, or if, he was visiting or whatnot. But we would date that tag probably late 1800s, Lynn.
Yeah, in fact, I just showed Rich a picture at the show this weekend. I saw an old wooden trunk from early 1800s, and it had a tag on it with almost the same font.
Really? That same giant font?
Yep, and it was nailed to the front of a wooden trunk.
Well, I thought it was great. He found them one after another. The top one just has his name, H.A. Cruzen. The bottom one says H.A. Cruzen, Newtown, which was the town we were in. I thought they were great. All brass, had to have been screaming. How they were missed the first time we were there is beyond me.
Well, I remember where they were, and I think it was in an area where there was some interesting there was some interesting signals, and there's still probably some good stuff there.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. So great find there from Rich. The next one, also Rich, I believe. I didn't put another picture of Rich because there's a whole bunch coming up. Mercury dime. I think Rich had like 6 silvers this day. We got in a big discussion how many silvers we had. We can never remember.
On days like that, when it's just everybody's finding them.
But what's funny is it just goes to show, like, I'm more pessimistic and Doug's more optimistic for everything we do. So even trying to recount the silvers on the day, I always say, like, oh, I think it was 4. And Doug will be like, no, I think it was 12. And usually it's 8. Like
I'm counting the ones that I thought were silver but weren't.
there was like 17. There was 17 silvers. But however many there was a lot. All right, group shot here. I don't know why I put the group shots in just to break up. Fine. But you know what the group shot did? This was Doug's find here. Dougie actually got on a spill in the front yard in the same area that we had hunted so many times. This was the first one. And then when we rechecked the hole, more came out. And Rich finally gets a week of reprieve because Dougie hit this one with the shovel and he picked up nickname number 17, Dougie Dingsum.
Now, look at this picture closely.
Yeah.
Look at her chin. And look above her chin. It looks like another face looking at us.
Look, what?
Look at the chin. You see where the dirt is? Look across to the chin and then look up. It looks like another face. Doesn't it?
Rich, do you know what he's talking about? You can say no. It's okay.
No.
Does anyone in the chat know what Doug's talking about? I only see the one face. If there's another one, I'm not seeing what you're.
It might be a dog's face if you look at it closely, or maybe a bear.
What?
I think it's an elephant myself.
Yeah.
Do you?
Are you watching the same show we're watching, Doug?
I was just gonna say that.
Look at her eyes and look straight down, like on her cheek. You see 2 eyes and like a nose.
Doug, I do see it now, Doug.
Oh, you do? Charlie see? Other people see it, Doug.
Charlie's drinking the same Kool-Aid I am.
Right at Mercury's lips area there.
Yes.
All right, I can't see it, but other people are seeing it.
Well, let's spend about an hour looking for it.
Yeah,
right?
let's just we'll come back next week, part 2. Thanks, everybody.
I actually plainly see it, Doug. I do plainly see it.
Thank you, Charlie.
I'll look at it later, Doug, and you can draw it on there and text it back to me.
Okay.
I'm not sure. But that was the first coin in your spill. You rechecked the hole. You found this one, which was a buffalo nickel.
Buffalo nickel, yeah.
I can't tell from that what the date is. And before I show the third coin, do you see any animal faces in that coin, Doug?
No, but flip it over.
I don't think I have a flip over. And then the third coin, another Mercury dime there, 1936. But a 2-dime, 1 nickel spill for Doug. And in the video, I said you found a quarter the hard way.
Yes.
And somniferous almond eyes. Never heard that expression before. It's because I think I made it up. I do that a lot, somniferous. I just make things up and hope that we're on the same wavelength. But great spill there, Dougie. And right in the front yard where we found so much stuff, probably like maybe a foot from where Rich found the beautiful New Jersey copper last year.
Yeah.
If you remember where you were, Rich.
I do.
I do. I could pick it right out.
Yeah.
I was talking to Charlie on the ride down, Doug. I'll come out of this for 1 second. On the ride down, it's a long 17-hour ride. So we talked about everything. And I said, Charlie, I'm so bad with remembering things, names or roads or stuff like that. But when it comes to detecting finds, if you were to say, hey, Jay, do you remember this necklace charm of a horse? I could remember where we were, the day, the weather, who was there. And if you brought me back, I could probably take you to within 6 inches of where you actually found it. It's weird how our memories are selective that way. Yeah, no need to contribute to my conversation. That's okay.
No, you said it all.
Yeah, I've covered all bases. It's like a one-person show I'm doing, and they just look good. I get a lot of this. All right, moving along. Again, just silly faces of Doug. I'm not sure what this was. This was after the spill. I'm looking at my notes section here. I don't remember what's next. We'll find out in a second. This was another find, probably from Rich.
I thought you remembered everything.
Silver Rosie, 5 Mile Relic Hunter says, time to put Rich in a timeout. Now we need Rich to find stuff. That's why Rich is there. That's Rich's. That's what punches Rich's membership card. Rich finds things. Clem Fandango in the chat, Rich. I know that's one of our favorite ones.
Yeah.
Is Clem overseas or in America? I always forget.
I think
Wales.
Wales.
Well, no,
that's what it was. Wales.
At the moment, I think he's over here with Turd.
Yeah, with Turd Ferguson. Yeah, goes back and forth a lot. All right, so Rich is Rosie. Now Doug came over to me with Lynn, and his hand was behind his back, and Doug says from across the yard, "Get your camera out." So whenever I hear that, I know a gag or a bad joke's coming, because Doug only does it. So I said, Doug, is it a find or a gag? And at least he was honest. He says, oh, it's a gag. And he pulled out this big giant toad. I got another picture of it there trying to escape Doug's grasp. And then I got a couple pictures, Doug. Look at this one.
That was a big toad.
Yeah, Melissa Crone, 1064, said Doug joined the Toad P Club. And again, Doug, with the frame by frame 4K camera, I even got, look at that. I got some of the actual drops leaving.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, look at that. And the Key Day Kid, who is the Excalibur Shovels. Charlie, show him that hat again. Excalibur, it's on your head. There you go. I say, show him your hat.
I thought you wanted to show the shovel. I got the shovel here too.
Oh, you can get the shovel, Charlie. Go ahead, bring the shovel up. Key Day Kid, if it was a toad, a dog would scare the crap out of me too.
Yeah.
Let me bring you up full screen, Charlie, so they can. Whoops, not that one. Well, there's that one. Charlie's newest Excalibur shovel. Look at that color selection. Beautiful. I love that one, Charlie.
That is pretty.
The black and the gold two-tone. It's got the cocked handle to give you the leverage. It's got the grips going all the way up, serrated on both sides. Incredible. Rich has yet to break his, and I know it's going to hold up.
I've used it one day so far, but I love it. And it's great. So
yeah, make sure you guys check him out. I think there's already a link in the description, excaliburshovels.com. And he gives a discount code, Rich, Quarter Hoarder exclusive discount code. I believe, is it Casey, is it still Alamo or no, it was Quarter Barber last time I checked. Quarter Barber, excaliburshovels.com. You design it, Rich, the color, the shape, the length, the width, the whole thing, and they will last you forever.
I don't know if I've ever seen shovels multiple colors before in my life.
No, I think he invented it. I think he invented the technique.
And why not? Everything
Barber Hoarder is the discount code. No, he invented the two-tone color. I think he invented the cocked handle, which really does provide great leverage. There's like a little, almost unnoticeable curve up to the tip of the shovel, which again adds more leverage. Mm-hmm. So excellent quality shovels. If you're a detectorist, make sure you pick one up. excaliburshovels.com. Let me bring up the frog again, Doug.
Got a strobe light
It's a toad.
But yeah, look at that live action shot of the frog urinating in Doug's hands. Only on not even Nat Geo has that shot, Doug.
That's right.
You find it here on the Quarter Hoarder Network. Yeah. All right, now, I think I have a couple more.
And Jason.
Yes.
No toads were harmed in the filming.
No toads.
Yeah.
Segment.
At least I don't think they were. Doug may have squeezed them too hard for all I know.
No. I watched her hop away.
Okay. How do you know it was a her?
A toad that big is a breeder.
Okay. Now, Doug. Now this is the part of the show where I'm going to bring this up in a second, full screen. Now, if you didn't see it, during the day, we took a break. We went over in the shade because it was really hot. And Charlie wasn't there that day, but we wanted to include Charlie. I'm going to let the clip speak for itself. It runs for about 2.5 minutes. Hold on to your seats because it's really, really good. I'm going to bring it full screen.
Hold on to your butt cheeks.
And I'm going to ask that we'll try to be quiet and let it play. I'm going to turn my volume up.
I can hear Rich laughing here.
Yeah, it was really good. One of my favorite skits or whatever you want to call it we've ever done. So everybody enjoy the little shenanigans from the house. Here we go, guys. Charlie couldn't be here today, so Lynn in her car, don't ask me why. Can you hear it, Doug? Happens to have this remote control fart machine. Go ahead, Lynn, give him a sample of it. We're going to call Charlie. Doug's going to pretend we're having a great day, Charlie. Wish you were here as this button's going, and Doug will play it up. You'll see. We're going to try it because we're bored.
Yeah.
Ready, Doug? Give him a call.
All right. Hey, Charlie.
Now, don't tell me you found George Washington.
Wait a minute. Okay. No, I just wanted to let you know we didn't find a GW button.
You did not.
Oh, no, we didn't. But we had. Wait a minute. Hold on. My stuff.
Like somebody's.
It's me. Oh, hold on, Charlie.
Sounds like you're farting.
Oh, Lynn brought this stuff that I ate a piece, and oh my God!
Yeah, that's not me. It's
Yeah,
I feel fine.
Oh man!
It's always good that you bring a clean pair of underwear with you.
Well, the problem is I'm going commando.
Oh God!
Oh my God!
Hey, Rich, would you check the back?
Oh my God!
Hey, Judy, I just hold on. I just ate some of.
But there's a little bit.
Oh.
Doug!
Oh my gosh!
I'll have to call you back.
Get there in time.
Oh, it's too late.
All right.
See you, Judy.
Don't go away. Enjoy this conversation. Bye. Take care, guys.
See you, Charlie.
All right, let me bring it back in. Hold on. Where am I? Hold on. All right. So that was our little shenanigans. Now, Doug, like I said, I usually don't. We do goofy things like that. I don't usually put it in the video. It's for our own amusement. I was cracking up so bad. I said, I'm going to put it in. My wife was saying, "Oh, you got to put a disclaimer up. You got to let people put a disclaimer." Put a disclaimer. That's why she doesn't have a YouTube channal.
It's pretty innocent. This one.
Rich, I've probably seen it now, because I had to edit it. The actual clip
was 5 minutes.
Oh, it was 9.5 minutes.
You're kidding.
I had to edit it down to that. And I'm still crying. I'm still crying. My favorite part is in the beginning, before Charlie caught on, when you said no, we did not find a GW button, and then the big fart goes off, and Charlie says, "You did not." like why are you calling me then?
Yeah.
I like when Doug goes, "Bye, Judy."
Yeah, Judy, Charlie's lovely wife, gets on the phone.
Yeah, she was there listening. Yeah.
But the gag was still going. We had to keep it going, so then you can hear Judy.
Gag is the key word.
Charlie, how long into the conversation did you realize that it was a joke?
At least halfway through. I'm a gullible guy. I am. But I do remember my mom always used to say, "Take clean underwear with you no matter where you go." I shared that with Doug. I said, "Did you bring clean underwear with you?"
Oh, that was good. I'll tell you what, Doug should have gotten an Academy Award for that. He held it together the whole time.
Absolutely.
I would have fallen apart.
This was like typecasting for me to be the one that's farting. Because
oh my goodness,
in reality, I don't have a stomach. I have a compost pile.
Oh man, it was so good, Doug.
I'm always gassing.
Doug, your whole life led up to this moment, and you nailed it.
I knew you guys were out protecting, and to get a call, I thought maybe you found something great, you know?
Yeah, we were just bored, Charlie. We wanted to call you and do some fart jokes.
Total impromptu.
And Lynn, people wanted to know, why does Lynn happen to have that in her car? I had a bunch of people email me that.
Yeah. Well, doesn't everybody?
I don't know. Maybe it's not me.
I never know I'm gonna need that.
Yeah,
I really when you need some fun.
Yeah, I mean,
Lynn never does that, so she brings a machine just to make herself feel like she's human.
Yeah, it was really good. Thank goodness
we used it this weekend at the show.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's the real reason she has it with her.
Yeah.
Because they use it at the antique shows for unsuspecting, people walking around.
Oh, that's what it's for. Okay.
And they watch, and yeah.
It just goes to show that all of us, that's our level of professionalism.
Right. I have the maturity of a 5-year-old.
Yes, so do I. We all share that 5-year-old maturity level.
There's times where you could just sit there and stare into space, or you could have fun with the fart machine.
Yeah.
Adrian Tucker said, look, it'll get people to look over at the booth. That's right. Yeah.
It attracts attention.
But will they walk into the booth?
You have a question, Doug?
I have a question for the chat.
Okay.
Does anyone know where the word fart came from? Seriously, where did that come from?
I think I heard it too, but
because I have my own theory on this.
Bad joke coming. Bad joke coming.
Oh, no. I think it's rather clever for my immaturity. So give them 5 minutes to see if anybody can guess.
They'll look it up.
All right. I'll give them 5 minutes, and we'll come back.
Well, all right. We'll talk about something else in the meantime.
Well, I'm not going to just sit here and stare at the wall for 5 minutes. All right. Anyway, let's continue for now. Best skit ever, Doug. Way to kill it. All sorts of comments. I even pinned one, which I forget to do a lot, from Mad 4784. Baby tears brought to his eyes. That's what it's all about. You know how smiling, Doug, cheers your day up. You have a bad day at work, you have a bad day, whatever. You watch that 2-minute segment and suddenly you feel a little better about the world. That's what it's all about.
It takes 4 muscles to smile and 11 muscles to frown.
Yeah.
So it's easier to smile.
But a frown's probably more of a workout for you, though. It's probably better for your face.
You can say you worked out for a couple hours. Frown.
Yeah, Doug, your camera gets fuzzy every once in a while, Doug. So we'll see. At the moment, it's okay. Okay. I'll keep an eye on it.
Okay.
All right, let's move on from there. And great picture of everybody cracking up. That was a super fun time. All right, after that, one of the only finds I had for this day was this pocket watch. And what was interesting, Rich, is let me go to the next picture first, and then I'll come back because it's kind of an odd thing here. I didn't move this to the right spot. Oh, great. I blocked it.
We find faceplates and we find pocket watches, but rarely do we find the faceplates in the pocket watches.
Yeah, but you know what's weird is if you look at this one, this is after I brushed it. And this is the exact same thing that happened about a month ago when I found that old Mr. Boston bottle cap. Remember when I found that and gave a big, I still love it. But when I found it, just from rubbing it, I rubbed the face off of old Mr. Boston. Now, if you look at this pocket watch here, you can see most of the numbers, but you can't see the name, which would be in the center right above the middle dial.
Yeah.
It would be like right here, if you can see my mouse. But now if I go back, let me go back. This is where I first dug it. you can see the name right there. It says
you brushed it off, huh?
I brushed it off, even though it's been on there for who knows 100 years. It's printed on there. Just my finger takes those letters off. Did the same thing with old Mr. Boston. And this pocket watch was made by, it looks like West Clocks Clofty. I don't know. I can't read it. But I rubbed it off. How weird, though, that like the letters would, you could rub them off. But I did the same thing with old Mr. Boston.
I do that frequently with if I'm bottle digging and I dig something with a label on it still. Your first instinct is brush the dirt off. And as soon as you do that, the whole label just...
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I don't know. Those letters must have just been barely hanging on in the ground for 100 years. And as soon as my thumb touched it or the brush, rubbed the letters off. Look how nice the 12 and the 11 is in that picture.
Yep.
And then when I brushed it, look, the 12 is gone. The 11's gone. So, I damaged it unintentionally, but, just goes to show you got to be super careful sometimes. And Soup City Bags, whose comment I forgot to drag to the bottom, that's why it's blocking it. He said sometimes if you open up the pocket watch, you might find a repair receipt folded up in the back of it. Now, I heard they do that with clocks. I didn't know they would do that with a pocket watch. It must be a tiny little piece of paper.
Yeah.
So, Doug, whenever we find a compact or like a Pond's cold cream with a lid on it, we always open it up on camera to look for something inside.
I hope there's a
pocket watches.
Yeah.
I did not open this one up, and I think I gave it to the homeowner at the end of the day, so don't have it anymore. But interesting, though, and loved the pocket watch. Thought it was awesome. Crazy Diggins said to find one like you did, Jason, is rare. So cool. Thank you, brother. Thank you. I think it was the only thing I found all day, so I'm just going to try to reap the rewards for a minute.
Yes.
It's not easy, Crazy Diggin', finding this kind of stuff. It's years of dedication. I found two things. I found this and a barn hinge. All right, let's see what I got after this.
Hey, barn hinges are almost always old if you find them, though.
Yeah, mine was hand forged. I mean, I'm not complaining. Would I have rather found this bale seal with the writing on it? Yes, but I didn't. There's Rich with that nice bale seal, Doug. Look at the design on it, Doug.
Beautiful.
I say that because I see Doug's not looking.
No, I'm looking.
Oh, okay.
I watched the video.
Oh, did you see it? Okay. Yeah.
Sure.
Real nice bale seal there from Rich. I think he had a couple of other things too. I just cut through them because there was so much stuff. This is me not scanning Doug, but he had something in his hand.
He's checking out my pacemaker.
Yeah, just want to make sure the batteries are good. But Doug had this really nice pewter spoon handle. And if you can see, pewter spoon handles, super old. Lynn can attest to that. But his actually had an engraving on it with a face.
That's got to be rare.
Yeah, you know how much money that would have been back then? A pewter spoon with,
with engraving
face, artworked into it. Artworked, is that the word? I don't know.
Artworked.
Artworked.
It's like hard work.
It was a long drive. But I'll just go with fancy. Yeah. That's the kind of word that the detectorists use a lot, Doug. If you just don't know what you're talking about, you just say fancy. That just describes anything that's not plain.
Yes.
So lots of fancy on that pewter spoon bowl, or pewter spoon handle, rather. All right, let's see here. Another great face from Doug.
Oh man!
I love it. I
know you're going to send all these pictures someday to a asylum.
No, that's
fitted for a straitjacket.
That's a great one. Like I said, when you go frame by frame, Doug, and I see him every week editing it, and I always think like, oh, what am I going to do with this picture? Nothing. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll put it on the live show, and we can all laugh at it.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, mainly dirt fishing. Thank you. Hello, Jason, Doug, and Harley. I found a cocaine bottle in a dump yesterday and 3 pew-pews. Oh, wow. A cocaine bottle, like Coca-Cola when cocaine was in it. Was that what he means, Rich?
Could be, but more than likely it's like a Coca-Cola bottle, or there were other companies that were more famous for having cocaine in the drink. The thing with Coca-Cola is they were the ones who were smart enough to remove it before they got in trouble and lost everything.
Oh, okay.
Everybody else pretty much decided we're going to keep it in there, and then they went under.
So if you like, I'm not a bottle guy necessarily, but if you had like an old Coke bottle from, I don't even know when it'd be, like maybe 1900s, would the Coke bottle say like made with cocaine? Like did they advertise that?
No, they were even simpler back then.
The bottle didn't say
Hutchinson.
it, but when they first invented Coca-Cola, they admitted that it was made with cocaine.
Yeah. But back then, cocaine probably didn't have the
perception, the negative stigma that it has today.
Yeah, people.
Well, it was a medicine.
Yeah, it was probably like a medicine.
Exactly.
They put it in almost everything.
Yes.
All right. I just was curious if there's bottles that exist that say Coca-Cola and then cocaine, on the bottle or the label, or I think that'd probably be super valuable, I would imagine.
I know there are other products that do state that on the bottle or label, but not Coca-Cola.
Mainly Dirtfishin said they spelled it misspelled like that with K's to avoid the authorities. Yeah. Well, if it was used for dental work, if it was used for like medical reasons, I guess even back then, maybe it wasn't even allowed for medical purposes. I'm guessing.
They went a little overboard with it. They put it in a lot of stuff because it made you feel good and it numbed the pain.
Yeah. Well, maybe if they put it in those fatbacks, people would eat them, because without that, those fatbacks need something, Doug.
Yeah. Do you want to wrap the
popular snack?
Somebody said I was farting there.
Yeah. Oh, Doug. Before I move on, do you want to give the answer to your?
Yes, there was an appropriate answer. Came from Middle English, from the word fartin, and they just shortened it. But I came up with an acronym for it. Everyone knows what an acronym is, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So FART stands for foul air rectally transmitted.
Okay.
You're a genius.
You are.
Me and Einstein. What do you say?
You are a genius. And I love how it took 11 minutes to set that joke up.
Gave everybody the chance to walk out on the.
Everybody, get them all ready. That was very good. Oops, I didn't mean to put me up there like that. Hold on. There we go.
Everybody's going to be using that, though, this week.
Yeah, they're all going to steal that. Make sure you send Doug the residual check, please.
That's right. Nickel a use.
Dog tag Doug at AOL.com or whatever Doug uses.
Yeah, AOL.
All right, let's see what we got next.
Get
look at this, Rich. I got a little video there. The slow swipe of Rich's beautiful Standing Liberty. Look at that, Doug.
Yes, sir.
Now, I had about maybe 20 people in the comments saying it was the best SRQ they've ever seen, Doug. I've actually seen one better that Dog Tag Doug found years ago. Yep. But this one, phenomenal in its own right.
They got to be a tie for sure.
Look at the back of Rich's, Doug.
It looks like a quarter that you would get in change today.
Yeah, the back of yours looks like almost uncirculated. Like, look at that. It looks like you'd eat off of that thing.
Beautiful.
The front's got a little bit of smoothness like on her cheek, but otherwise, holy cow, every star popping.
Jason, do you isn't there something with the 3 stars there? There's different versions. Do you remember?
Yeah. The first year, 1916, and type 1 of 1917, the beginning of 1917, the stars were only on the left and right. There were 7 on one side and 6 on the other for 13. Then halfway through set 1917, when they changed the design, because on the early ones, her boob was exposed. And they covered it with chainmail. And when they redesigned it, they also changed the stars on the back where now it's 5 on one side, 5 on the other, and 3 horizontal on the bottom. So when we find an SLQ, they're often the date is slicked out. So we look on the back at the star placement because the 1916 is the key date, and that would have the 7 and 6 and no stars on the bottom. But and we found one last year, the 7 and 6, but it turned out to be a 17. But that one is fantastic. And I think on the Type 3 SLQs, which started around 24, 23, they gave it a deeper stamp so that the date didn't slick off as much. Because even back then, the dates were slicking off within like a year of being in their pocket change. So that's why usually when you find a later date SLQ, 20s, 30s, the dates are on there. But the early ones, they're almost always wiped clean. So now interesting tidbit there, and that one is just fabulous. I'm still not done staring at it yet, Doug.
It is.
Yeah,
It's amazing. Yeah. So great find there from Rich in the ground. Probably dropped within a week of it, leaving the mint. I mean, look at it. It's amazing. All right. So great job there from Rich. And then right after that, he found another silver dime, another Mercury. We're just going to skip it. He's had enough accolades.
Yeah. Come on.
You're flagged.
Another find here from Doug. Lynn was getting ready. I think she knew what was going to happen because Doug found this car. Now, whenever we find a car, regardless of who made it, if it's a convertible, the guy who finds it has to take it for a ride. Now, this wasn't issued as a convertible. The roof fell off, but good enough. And Doug took Lynn for a ride down at the sock hop.
Yep.
And here they go. Going to the sock hop. And and that was the end of that house. Comment there from Craig Allen. Silver dime, what's in the clump, pocket watch, and fart jokes. Doesn't get any better than that. And ends with Lynn just swinging on that swing in the background.
Oh, God.
You didn't even notice it.
I was like, when did you get footage of me digging?
Well, because I was taking like a break and I looked over and I saw your mom swinging. I said, I'm just going to film that. Maybe I'll use it. Maybe I won't. And so there she is. That was after the ride from the sock hop, Doug.
Yeah.
After the sock hop.
Yes.
All right. So there was house number 2. Let me bring us back. I'm going to queue up this week's video. Now, this week's video that just came out Tuesday, we just got back from that long ride. I didn't get a chance to really go through the comments. So I'm going to really breeze through this. I got like 20 pictures, no comments because we were away on this crazy weekend we just had. Louis Villarreal is here, Doug. I wanted to say hello. And Show Me Treasure, who is our buddy Chris, who makes the awesome glass pieces. Jimmy Jackson is here. He found a 1917 Type 1 SLQ. That's usually what we find. Whenever we find the 7 and 6 stars, they've always been the 1917 Type 1. We haven't gotten that 16 yet. That's the key date. That's the money one, if you can get one.
Yep.
That's that's my second one, and I was just psyched that it was 100 years old now, being 1924.
I was just like the condition on it. I mean, that was just a stunner. Pink Power Alley Treasure Hunter is here. Does those amazing ring recoveries, Doug.
Yes.
We're going to be having on soon our own fancy ring recovery.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about that yet, but what an epic thing this is going to be, Doug.
I hope so.
Maybe Allison can give us an honorary ring recovery badge for the day.
Yeah.
Because we're making a big deal out of this with the news and newspapers. I don't want to get too much on it, but where do you guys see it?
You just gave everything away.
Well, they didn't see it yet. They don't know what's going on, but we tried to make as big a deal as possible.
Yes.
That's what we do. We're over the tops. We are over the top. All right, Doug, let me bring in house number 3. Why do I keep doing that? There it is. House number 3. Now, this is this week's house. Now, Doug, before I go in too much on it, in the video, there was a lot of stuff I didn't put in because of this trip that we went on. I just didn't. I ran out of time.
Right.
They had here. Let me go to the next picture if they see it. This barn here, Doug, which was amazing.
I could have done an hour on the barn.
I took an hour plus tour of the barn with the property owner. All the logs were hand hewn, only cut on 2 sides. It was still a tree bark on the other side. Inside were like old dressers and old cash registers, like from the 20s, and so many cool things. But I just didn't have time with this trip. So I might revisit some of that in 2 weeks. And really interesting fact, Doug, that we didn't even announce during the video, which she was okay with. I would have put it in there, but it didn't make it. Was this woman that lives here, this house, her and her husband, I think she's since divorced, but her husband played on the Philadelphia Flyers for like 15 years, Doug.
I don't think it was that long.
Don't say his name, please, Doug.
No, I won't. I think he was more like four years.
But other NHL teams, right?
Oh, yeah, and he's currently NFL.
Yeah, he's currently a coach.
NHL head coach, and he's won.
He's got a Stanley Cup ring, I believe.
Yes.
Really well-known Philadelphia Flyer guy. So this house was, but we didn't really go into it too much because I try to give them some sort of
privacy.
I always say, like, when we get there, the circus rolls in the town, and she was still cool with it though. Like she was fine with it, but she didn't want to be on camera, or I would have interviewed her more. But she was talking to me about everything off camera while I was filming the barn. Really, super nice lady.
And why didn't you put the golden hockey stick we found in the video?
I was hoping we'd find stuff there.
Interestingly, she sold this house and moved into an older one about a mile away, and has said we could detect that.
I don't think she moved yet, though. She's actively moving.
Is she? I thought she said she was moving within the next couple of weeks.
Now, she didn't make settlement yet. I've been watching it online to see.
Oh, okay.
Well, because the other house she moved into, Doug.
She'll be happy to know that you're trolling her.
Well, I'm just watching the house. It's public information.
Oh, okay.
But the house she's moving into, Rich, is even older than this house.
Yeah.
So,
and listen. I think I know which one she was talking about.
Yeah, I think
she gave me a whole brochure.
Yeah,
she gave me a whole brochure. Now, she was really cool, but the barn was amazing. The story was amazing. We'll show more of that down the line. Let me.
Hey, Jason, as soon as I saw that house, I noticed it has 2 front doors.
Yes, I'll go back, Charlie. You're right. I think it was an old Quaker house.
Well, that was very common with the German Baptists, or known as the Dunkers. The Dunkers had 2 front doors.
Oh, really?
Do you know why, Charlie?
Yeah, Doug, we know why. Charlie, do you know why? I know Doug knows why.
Well, if it was a German Baptist, one door was not used. Just the one door was for people going in and out. The one was for the spirits.
The spirits, huh?
Yeah.
Well,
if there were any spirits in the house, that's the door they left out of.
Okay.
And
if it was German Baptist.
That tree right there too. Whenever we see old trees, whenever you see old trees, we never really have a way to get scale in there unless like someone's standing next to it. But that tree was massive. That tree could be 200 years old. It was incredible.
So tell me your theory on the 2 doors.
Well, I thought it was for male and female entrance.
If it was Quaker, maybe that's true.
The Quakers would have a pocket door in between them, right, Doug?
That's correct.
To separate the men and the women.
Yes.
It's in the meeting house.
All right. So let's go. But yeah, this is a stunning house also. I was also inside the house for a good hour, Doug. She gave me tours of the fireplaces. Lynn, you would have loved. She had a big one with the crane, and I got pictures. And
well, interestingly, when I first got that permission, she had a roof repairman coming just as I got there, and she says, "Oh, go walk through the house and take a look at it," while she's showing the guy what needs to be repaired. And I'm thinking, I just met this lady, and
yeah, well, she's moving
to her house.
She's moving. She doesn't care anymore. She's moving.
Yeah, well, still.
All right. Anyway, the barn, which was fabulous. Doug looking confused and lost.
As typical.
Matt had the first find through these corridors. I mean, it was incredible, this whole complex. I'm just going to let these play, Doug, because like I said, I threw these together last minute. Matt's first find was the 1956 silver quarter. Doug had the next find, another silver quarter. It started off on fire.
Yes.
There's the grayed out background. I love that bokeh background shot, Doug. 1948 from Dougie. Matt had this cool thing in his hand. He didn't know what it was. I only knew because we found them over the years. Rich, you know what it is now, right?
Gyroscope.
I knew what it was because I have one.
Okay. I like how I say, Rich, you knew what it was, and Doug blurts out the answer. He can't help himself.
Sorry.
Your name's not Rich.
I didn't hear the Rich part.
Okay. Yeah, but we find them. We find about maybe 2 or 3 a year, and they're always like a little bit different. I thought that was really cool. Super heavy, too.
Yes.
Doug may have had the find of the day with the enormous Crotal Bell. And we did a whole 10-minute video as we cleaned it up, which I edited down to 15 seconds, but just to show people, look at that picture I got, Doug.
Yes.
Look at the shadows on my face.
I was going to make that the thumbnail because I just thought it was a cool look, but the shadows on your and Matt's face, it was taking me forever to Photoshop them off, and then I couldn't get the skin tones right.
See, I like them. I'm going to get those tattooed on.
Well, on Matt's face, it looks like he's got an upside-down cross on his forehead.
Yes.
So I was trying to Photoshop it out, but being colorblind, I can't match the skin tones in Photoshop real well.
Yeah, it looks like a pentagram.
Yeah, that's why I didn't use it. That's why I didn't use it. But great bell there from.
What was interesting, I think I told her, the night before I dreamt I found a Crotal Bell, and sure as hell, I swear to God, I dreamt I found a Crotal Bell the next day. And
well, let us know when you dream about flying eagle.
Gold.
Yeah, or some gold bars, Doug. Some gold bars.
Yeah.
But look, you can see it there, cleaned up really well. And then let's see, we got it to look at it from there, Doug. After it was cleaned.
That's pretty.
Look at that, just a stunner, hand drilled, one of the best ones I've seen. I would have had a video clip of it ringing for the first time here, Doug, but we were away all weekend. And
Yep.
There's a picture of Doug. Look at that big smile on his face. Nothing like finding
a Crotal Bell that rings.
Well, it's one of the few things that we find that's been in the ground for hundreds of years that still works as intended.
Yeah, you can prove it. Yeah,
you can prove it. Look, here it is. This is what it does. I just love that about it.
And we it's extra exciting because we find so many pieces of them.
Yeah.
When they get this size, especially.
Yeah, it's hard to find the big ones. Usually the small ones, because they're small and compact, they hold up better. But these big ones, they get crushed and broken all the time.
And a lot of times in the hole, you see it. And as soon as you pick it up, the other side of it's gone.
Yeah, it's not there.
Do you know what my biggest Crotal Bell faux pas was?
No.
I don't know.
Rich does. Not far from here. I found a number 9 Crotal Bell one day, and Rich and Jason. I'm not sure if Charlie went back that day, but I didn't go. I didn't go with him. And Rich found the number 8 and the number 7 right where I dug up number 9.
Yeah, you didn't.
And I didn't check my hole.
There was two
But-
more in the same hole, and Doug, in his excitement, didn't recheck it, and Rich found them.
Yeah.
And
But they were.
you gave me my first Crotal bells. Though,
Yeah, that was
because
Rich's first one, Doug.
It
So
was a year later, or whatever.
whatever
Yeah.
it was.
That's true.
And if you look at this picture, Doug, let me blow it up full screen, maybe see a little bit better. In the background back here, can you see this building?
I see a couple of buildings. The little like Hansel Reynolds
Oh, I'm
house.
sorry, over here. Yeah, in between
Yeah.
me and you. You see that?
Yes.
That's like a countersunk old ice house, Charlie.
Yeah.
Went under the ground. It's been remodeled to now be a chicken coop. And when I eventually get to it, and I did the barn tour, I got a hole around that building like I did with the smokehouse because it's all stone. It's just incredible. It's big, and it went down like 2 floors under the ground. You know, these lighthouses are countersunk. So it just looks like a roof almost on the surface, but really the whole thing is underground.
Yep.
Thought that was really cool. I just didn't get a chance to do it yet. Rich had a good find here. Going through that barn, going through the barn. Look, there's the thing, Rich found.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, Rich thought it was, and it made sense. I didn't even question it. That loop would go over your belt. That the left edge, Doug, has wood in it still.
Yes.
He thought it was like a flag post that you would put in there, like if you were the guy carrying the flag at the front.
In a marching band. Yeah.
Right. But when I was editing the video, I found that it was actually part of a horse and buggy. It's called a whiffle tree.
Yes.
And then I had a few people comment in the video also saying a whiffle tree, but I like Rich's ID better. I almost want to stick with it.
I swear I've seen flag related items that look exactly like that, unless those people were wrong as well.
I like it. I mean, it makes sense to me. The flag holder ones, when I was looking online, they were all like leather built into like a vest. But this, it could be that, it would be practical.
Yeah.
So great piece there. Charlie, ever hear of a whiffle tree before?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, you have to look it up. It was a confusing part. I was trying to look up pictures of it, but it's somewhere near like the big wooden crossbar. I think they went on the edge. I don't really know what function they serve. You'll have to.
Is it part of a horse tack?
Yeah, a horse tack from like a horse pulled carriage.
Yeah, from the tree that gets chained onto the horses.
Yeah. This is part of that at some capacity. I'm not sure exactly where.
Okay. All right.
And I can say with that, so there's a screw in the side that holds the wood in, and the center line on the screw is off center.
Yeah, I was trying to see. I wish I had.
We know it's a very early screw, as far as screws go. But.
Yeah, I had better pictures of it. I wish I would have had them queued up, but no, it's definitely really old. I think it's definitely 1800s. And for such a shiny, beautifully patinaed brass, man, that flagpole holder thing just sounds awesome. I wish that's what it was.
It could be. I'll put a flag in it.
Let's go on. But that was a great find from Rich. Love the patina on it too, Doug. It looks to me like a chocolate Hershey bar. I know it doesn't look like that to you, but to me, that's what it looks like. Doug, real fast. John Tonneson is in here. He's overseas. It's 3 a.m. where he is, so I'm not sure what country he's in, but thank you for joining us. Sue Ramsey and one of Doug's favorite people, Bells, in the chat.
Hey,
who we might be seeing in Arkansas if Bells is going again this year. Hopefully she's going.
Yeah.
And 5 Mile Relic Hunter. I think I had a comment from him earlier, if I'm not mistaken.
Interesting comment. Go real quick, going back to the Crotal Bell.
Okay.
Gary LaCourte says that the numbers on the Crotal Bell actually go the distance around the bell, so the circumference is what he's saying.
But that would still also be the size, right?
Yeah, it's a graduated.
Well, yeah, because Doug just said they're graduated.
Yeah.
But-
so like
but
the
that-
two, if
but-
it's
but
2
that's
inches
the-
around, yeah.
That's the actual measurement. It's not just the number because
Yes, that's a good point. Yes.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, it's the I guess is that the circumference or is that the word circumference?
Circumference.
Yeah.
Circumference, yes.
Yeah.
You used it correctly.
I know. That's how I get one right once in a while, Doug.
Use it,
I
use
get
it.
one right. Let me bring this back up. I almost ran the pictures without anyone seeing them. Wouldn't be the first time or the last time. This is a good find that Matt had. This was right after I did my 1.5 hour long barn tour. Matt left it waiting for me right on the walkway. You know, obviously it's a bank barn, Charlie. On the walk up to the bank barn, which traditionally we never find good stuff. Doug, what are you doing?
Cleaning my lens. They say I'm all blurry.
Oh, I don't think it was the lens. But thanks for a nice close up of your belly button lens. Thank you. Yeah, we now have 4 people left in the show. Thanks.
Yeah, I know that was fun.
Doug, warn a guy before you do that.
Yeah, look. He's
Oh,
I have no.
I look up and I see Doug's belly button up
show it. I
close.
just saw it on there again.
Like, what the heck is Doug?
I have no support system here.
Holy
You have no
mackerel!
filter.
Or filter. Yes, thank you.
Anyway, on the walk up of the bank barn, Matt had a good find.
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt.
Yeah.
Alan Cleveland in the chat says the word is Hamlet.
How does Alan Cleveland know our joke?
I don't know. But
Did we mention that before, Doug?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe we talked about it before. Yeah, I'd never heard the word Hamlet before used as a noun. And when we drove through a little town a few weeks ago, Doug said, something like, look at this little hamlet. And I had no idea what he was talking about, you know. And Charlie,
And then the rest
Hamlet?
of us.
Did you know Hamlet was a noun, Charlie?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I didn't.
It's very common up this way.
I've never heard the word used that way. So
A Hamlet is not a baby pig.
It could be.
That's funny, Doug.
Thank you, Charlie.
Well, there's
I get it.
that was Matt's ring that he said.
Farmer to farmer.
That was Matt's ring. It was actually wrapped around a root.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, the root grew through the ring, which was kind of cool. And then we pulled it out. Let me see here. Had some fancy on it. It was a sterling ring. Turned out the homeowner herself lost that ring about 10 years ago. And she remembered buying it from the Robert Redford catalog, Doug?
Sundance.
The Robert Redford Sundance catalog. Lynn, have you heard of that?
Yes.
I had not. She said she paid overpaid for it, like $70 for that little silver ring because everything in that catalog, I guess, is like super overpriced.
Yeah, it is.
Well, jewelry in general, when it's brand new in the box, it's a lot of money. As soon as it's not brand new in the box, it's a quarter of the price.
Yeah, why is it marked up so much? I mean, that's probably like $3 worth of silver.
Back in the 70s, I had a friend that was a jeweler. He says it's always marked up at least 2/3 of the actual cost.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, holy cow. I mean, it was cool looking, but she told me she paid $70 for that. I was like, holy cow. But, you know.
Meltdown of that wouldn't even be $10.
No, it's like $3 worth of silver. It's not even it was like the size of a quarter with the whole middle missing, you know?
Now, if you filled in the hole.
Oh, Clem Fandango, Doug, in the chat. It looks like he has a breakdown of, I guess that's Crotal Bell sizes and diameters. Is that what that is? I'll have to look at that later.
We have a super chat too, mainly dirt fishing.
Yeah, Doug, that was an hour ago.
Yeah.
Is
I
your
must
chat?
have been napping then.
Yeah. Thank you for the news. I
It was a
appreciate it.
rerun.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, Doug, I don't know if you heard, but George Washington is no longer the president.
Oh, he's not?
Yeah, there's a new guy. There's a new guy now. Yeah, there's a new guy. I thought he was going to take a third term, but he didn't.
He's marching troops up and down.
He's marching
Holy
all
Highway.
You know, it's funny, Doug. And when we were down in Virginia this weekend, the property owner, who I don't want to say his name yet because he's a famous guy, came up to me and he said, you know, George Washington was at this house before. And I was like, oh, wow. You know, we hear that every single week. But I was like, oh, wow. Now, George did live in Virginia, so it's not like it's far-fetched.
Yeah.
But then he says to me, yeah, somewhere inside we have a photograph of George Washington by the tree. And I said, Fred.
Wait a minute.
I said, Fred, cameras did not exist back then. Now I know you're full of
you just said his name.
Whatever. Well, Fred's kind of generic.
Yeah.
And, he said, and then he goes, oh, yeah, you're right. Maybe it was a lithograph.
Jason, some lady took a picture of George looking out the window. Remember that photo?
Yeah. The ghost of there was a picture, Doug, I'll show you, of inside the house. You know, you can take a picture and sometimes you'll get like a
view,
a figure or something like that.
Oh, like I saw a face within a face on the Mercury dime.
Yeah, but she had a picture of the front door and it's a ghostly image, and it looks like a guy. It was really creepy, and I'm not like a guy that believes in that stuff.
Well, now you know why nobody lives there.
Maybe.
Big time.
Charlie was really freaked out by it.
Yeah. Yes, I was.
Really?
Yeah, Charlie's more superstitious than I am.
Nobody sleeps there in that house, right, Jason?
No. I walked all through the basement, you know, where well, I don't want to say where it is, but I walked all around. And if there was ever a house that would be haunted with everything that happened, that would be one.
Well, was it a dirt floor or?
No, I don't want to say too much yet. I keep saying too much. In 2 weeks, I'm doing a whole big thing.
Okay.
Because people don't even know where we were, and so it's out of context.
I just want to tell everybody that's watching today, make sure you don't miss this upcoming video. It touched me, and I think the other guys appreciated how I felt when they met the gentleman and the family. So don't miss it. Not a lot of finds, but really, really some interesting history there.
And the video might not be out for 7 weeks, Doug.
So
I'll remind them. I'll make a big deal when it's time.
Just hold your breath.
Yeah, hold your breath. And there's me putting the ring back on the homeowner's finger, Doug.
Yeah, did you hear me in the background?
No.
You didn't hear me?
I usually try to block you out. What'd you say?
Oh, okay. I said, and with this ring, I thee wed. You don't remember that, huh?
No, that's probably why. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know, Doug, in 12 states, we're betrothed if I put that ring on her finger.
Well, that's, yeah. And
all right. But super nice lady. I think I don't even remember if she took the ring or gave it back to Matt. I don't even remember.
She wouldn't take it. She told Matt to keep it.
Yeah, I think she let Matt keep it. She's mad at Robert Redford.
Yes.
I had another good find. I forgot up by the house. There was my number, Doug. There's the proof.
Yeah, that's silver.
No, it wasn't silver. It was old Indian for me, 1907. I do have a picture of the cash register inside.
Yes.
The woman, her grandfather owned a car dealership in the 20s and 30s, and this cash register was from that car dealership. And how cool, Doug, that you would go into a car dealership to buy a new car and bring money.
And they bring it up on a register.
Right, and you'd pay cash for a car. Like
it's a drugstore.
Yeah, where'd those times go? I would have loved to open it up and see if like a nickel or a dime was like still inside, but it was all rusted shut.
You can't buy a car with cash anymore, Jason.
It's against the law.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know what's weird, Doug? I think this might be the last thing. Hold on. I think it's done. Let me just make sure. I think that's it for the slideshow. Yeah, it's done. So we're out of there. You know what's weird, Doug, is I've noticed more and more stores that don't accept cash money anymore.
Exactly.
Now, that's like I thought that was illegal. Like it says around there for all debts.
It actually is still.
but some stores will not take cash. It's only credit and I'm old school. I like to carry cash. I don't like to leave a digital trail where I go.
Well, if you go to a sporting event in Philadelphia,
same thing.
They do not accept cash. All they take is plastic.
I took Chrissy to like the Circus Soleil. Only took credit. Like, what's up with that? Money should be king, right, Charlie?
Yeah, except they had so much pilferage by the people that were working and accepting cash that the only way they could get around it is by.
Well, that's on them. You know, you can't say I don't accept the currency of the country.
They do it.
Well, they should. That could be illegal. We should put together
we tried to buy a foreign pickup truck, and they wouldn't take our money.
What's up with that?
No, we had the money for his pickup truck, and they said we had to take a through the company, a loan through the company or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
And we did it for a month, and then we paid it off.
Yeah, I thought cash should be accepted for everything but not anymore.
It is.
Doug.
Yes.
Mitch and Renita Barks from Show Me Treasure Hunt are in the chat, and they said they charge 4% for using your card, and they're right, they do.
Yeah.
But Doug, do you remember when we went down to the Show Me Treasure Hunt in Missouri?
Absolutely.
Do you remember the guy that owned the land? His name was, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, Mr. Kreitz. He had the top hat on.
David, I think.
Is that his first name?
I think so.
Well,
correct me if I'm wrong.
You might be. I don't even know. But Doug, unfortunately, he passed away just this week.
No.
And they're doing the hunt at his property again next year. So I just wanted to say my condolences. He was such a nice guy. Went around to everybody, shook everyone's hand, talked to everybody. So I just wanted to give an announcement that I just saw.
He couldn't wait until next year when they held another event there.
Yeah, he was real excited. He drove around on his Ford Kubota looking. Oh, look. Yeah, you're right, Doug. David Kreitz.
Yeah.
I saw that on Renita's Facebook page and my heart sank. Such a nice guy.
He was truly a nice man.
Yeah, open up all his farm, let everyone hunt all around.
That's a shame.
Yeah, great guy. So my heart does go out to the Kreitz family. We'll probably do something, I'm guessing, in his honor at the next hunt.
Well, I'm sure we will.
Yeah, super nice. And thanks for coming, Mitch and Renita. Yeah, so, but yeah, those are the 3 hunts, Doug. What did you think? I mean, back to back to back. The second hunt, that last hunt at the Flyers house, we threw in the towel around 1:30. It must have been 99 degrees. The humidity was hot. Rich doesn't even own shorts. Rich is in long sleeve shirt and pants every day. Do you own shorts? Do you shower in pants, Rich?
I don't
rain
shower
pants,
in pants.
so they don't get wet.
Weird question, but I do have a pair of shorts that I also use as a bathing suit, pretty much.
I was going to say I have one picture of Rich, Doug, in shorts from about 3 years ago. We just never used that video. I wasn't even there. It was just you and him in a creek.
Do you still have that? I sent it to you.
Doug, I have everything. Everything.
It's because I got. You know how sunburnt my thighs or my the backs of my calves got that day.
Yeah. Well, you're so pale because you don't wear shorts
every
1
hour of.
You look like
Casper Ghost. It was just Rich and I. It was right near his house. Do you remember the day, Rich?
Yeah, you found that really cool belt buckle.
Yeah.
But overall, it was not easy. It was not a good,
No, and I think if we had moved on, we would have found something more. But I was so enamored with the color of his legs. I just had the video.
Yeah, Rich's legs are the color of Doug's mustache.
Yeah. I told him the first thing when I saw him, I said, "Put a little chocolate in that milk."
Yeah. But Rich never wears shorts to get any color in his.
I'm not a big. I don't really sweat a lot, especially my legs. And what annoys me more than being hot is kneeling in
short.
itchy stuff or
That's
dirt,
why I wear knee
mud,
pads.
or yeah.
Talking about that, Doug, without giving too much away, one of the guys that joined us this past weekend at the historic place, I won't even say who it was. We had some special people join us. One of the guys went into the woods to look for things on the side of the house. When he came out of the woods, he looked down, and on his leg must have been, no lie, maybe a million chiggers. His whole leg looked like it was moving. And when you looked at it, he must have kneeled down to patch, and a million of them. He stripped down almost naked, so was spraying his whole body with off, trying to kill him. Oh, it was a nightmare.
Anybody that lives out west or down south knows what fire ants are, and chiggers can be every bit as bad once they start chewing on you.
Oh, chiggers are worse because they're smaller and they burrow under your skin. They don't just bite; they burrow.
I understand, but you don't want to get bit by fire ants.
Yeah, but it's different. The fire ant will bite, and then that's it. The chigger will burrow under your skin. It'll be painful
for 2 weeks,
and they die under your skin, and then they get bacteria. Oh my God, it's the worst. The worst.
And that's why we typically don't do woods in the summer.
I don't do woods in the summer for that reason. Ticks and mosquitoes. The little things bother me. The little bugs. I don't worry about the bears and stuff. It's the chiggers and the ticks and the
lions and tigers.
Yeah, the lions. I don't care. I'll just push Doug in front of me. But them chiggers, man. Oh, the thing of nightmares.
You know, when you're running from a lion, you don't have to outrun the lion. You just have to outrun the guy next to you.
Yeah, you just can't be last. You just can't be last.
That's right.
Yeah, like Allison said, water hunting is the best. No chiggers, but there are leeches in the water. That makes me nervous too, Doug.
Don't be scared.
I'm not scared, but I'm saying it makes me nervous. Leeches, they're disgusting.
Yeah, you just pull them off and you keep going
about
your business.
Yeah, but still, all bloody and nasty. Yeah. Audrey Girlinghouse said chiggers are mites. Yeah, they're kind of like mites. Maybe they're the same thing. I don't even know.
They might be in that family.
Bigger.
Yeah.
They're just bigger.
They're very, very tiny.
They have 8 legs.
Yeah, they're like the size of like 2 grains of sand. You know, they're super tiny, but when there's a million of them on you, you notice them.
Yes.
So no, that was Hot Mess Fishing. I thought I saw her in there earlier. How are you, Lisa?
How many are in the chat before we leave?
I cannot
204.
204, Doug. Not bad for it's coming up on 2 hours. We're going to.
We were up near 300 for a bit.
Okay, good. Well, don't forget, Doug. I'll say Charlie because Doug's not looking. Don't forget next week, Charlie. We have a special guest coming on. It'll be next Thursday, a special 1 hour, quarter after with special guest. Tell him, Charlie.
Brad Martin.
That's right. From Green Mountain Metal Detecting. Or if you're colorblind like me, Mountain Metal Detecting.
Yes.
Or,
and that's if he farms his way out of the woods.
Yeah.
What does green look like for you? I mean, what people tell you is green.
It depends. Colorblind's weird, Rich. It's hard to explain. Some people think I see in black and white, and that's not the case.
I know that's not true.
Yeah, I do see in colors.
Yeah.
I just I don't know what they are, and a lot of colors look like other colors depending on their shade. So I can't see where one color ends sometimes and the next one begins. So depending on the shade, sometimes I can't tell green from red or green from brown or green from other darker colors.
Which makes for a unique driving experience.
Well, traffic lights, I just look at which one's lit up, the top, the middle, or the bottom. To me, a traffic light looks dark red, light red, white.
Well, Jason, remember this weekend one was blinking and you asked me the color of it.
Yeah, if I come to a flashing only light, Doug, that I don't know what it is. But I will say that a flashing red is almost always accompanied by a stop sign. But if I'm not sure, I'll either ask someone in the car or I stop. because I can't tell because it's just flashing. Oh, is that Mrs. Dog Tag Doug in the chat?
I hope not.
I think it is. I see Mrs. Dog Tag Doug in the chat.
Really? I don't see that.
You don't see
Where?
her, Doug?
Hold on.
Mrs.
Oh,
Dog.
yeah, it's her.
That's her first appearance ever. Mrs. Dog Tag Doug in the chat.
Oh,
yes, it is. Look.
Yes, it is. Look at that. I got the eye of the tiger, Doug.
Yes,
the
sir.
eye of the tiger. Welcome, Mrs. Dog Tag Doug. Good to have her here.
My question, Jason, was does it look more like a red mountain Brad or yellow mountain Brad or just gray or brown mountain Brad?
It depends on the shade. Sometimes it looks like brown. Like to me, trees and grass always look the same color. I know grass is green only from hearing it so many times, but to me, it just looks like brown. Trees look gray to me, like tree bark looks gray. I can't tell blue from purple. I can't tell sometimes yellow from orange, but it depends on the shade. It's hard to explain. Every week, people ask me to try those colorblind glasses. I did. It didn't do anything. It was just like sunglasses, just kind of made everything darker. I don't think there would be glasses that could help me because I wouldn't know what it even is. Like I wouldn't know what some of the colors were, even if I was able to see it, because I've never seen it before. It's hard to explain.
I guess technology's not there yet. Someday they could.
It doesn't even bother me. It doesn't even bother me.
Person.
Yeah, it doesn't even bother me. I just tell people that because it comes up a lot in conversation, and
you always bring it up.
Well, because colors are everywhere, Doug, and color comes up in a conversation every single day. So I lead with that so people don't think I'm an idiot when I say like, oh, what a great looking green shirt, and they're looking and it's pink. Like
I have to find a way to get even with you.
I don't care. There's nothing. Listen, Doug, I've been doing this YouTube a long time. There's nothing you can say. I got a real thick skin at this point.
I know you do.
But yeah, I like, for instance, Rich, I'll bring this up real fast only because it's still on my screen. Like that cash register to me looks like one solid gray blob. What color is it to you?
Well, it is sort of kind of like a solid gray blob. But
okay, then I got that right.
Within that,
there's worked with some red and yellow.
Brown, a little yellow, a little rust colored.
Yeah, so no big deal. I mean,
what's the thing around it? What color does that look like?
The cushion?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's either yellow, light green, or orange.
It's yellow.
Okay, yeah. All three of those colors look the same to me, so I knew it was one of the. Well, at least I thought it was one of the three.
The color of the biggest part of the register looks like clad porter that's been sitting in the ground for a while.
To me, exactly. It does. Because last week when Charlie found a clad quarter, and it was in the video, I put it in for whatever reason because I think we did something funny. And when he wiped it, I said, "Oh, it's orange." I was able to see that shade of orange. It's hard to explain. Depends on the shade.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, like I said, after years of knowing that grass is green, now my mind knows grass is green. When I see that color on a quarter, even though it doesn't look orange to me, I know that color that I'm looking at is orange, even though I don't know. I just know from repetition of years of doing it. So, but I knew that was the orange color.
So
yeah, that orange color is such a heart sink because they give you such a good signal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like when we find those nice Indians and we wipe them, I know that if it looks like a Hershey chocolate bar to me, that it's green to you. So I'll say, "Oh, look how green it is," even though it doesn't look green to me. I just know that that's what it looks to you. So really, you guys are all the idiots, and I'm always trying to just appease you with your goofy colors.
Yeah, it's us.
So what do Hershey's chocolate bars look like to you?
They look like an Indian head penny.
It's like an Indian head penny. One of what you think is a greenie.
Yeah.
That's like a Hershey bar chocolate to me.
I hope you don't break your teeth trying to chew one.
No, oh my goodness. But you know what? The consistency of biting an Indian is like eating a Virginia fatback.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're both equally
You
as.
gotta give them a chance.
They're
Which
both
one
equally as.
tastes better?
But
No
I
way.
think we're going to roll this out of here, Doug.
Yeah.
We've been 2 hours. Don't forget, special next week, Green Mountain Brad. It should be a fun one. If anybody has any questions for Brad, they could message me, and maybe I'll be able to ask them beforehand. You know, it takes me a while to contabulate things. I made that word up, Doug.
I like that word.
No kidding.
Yeah, but it sounded good. If I just kept going, you wouldn't have questioned it.
It's
The
a good
Norm
word.
Crosby of
contabulate.
metal detecting. Okay.
If I didn't pause, you would have thought, man, he's smart. Contabulate. I'm going to use that, you know?
I'm kind of surprised that word doesn't exist.
That's what I'm saying. I'm really good at making up words and just selling it.
I gotta tell you it's a joke when we sign off.
Oh, you can't. It's inappropriate for the.
Oh no, it's clean. I just don't want people to know where I was when it
Oh,
happened.
okay. All right, then.
Yeah,
we can't tell you the joke, but
yeah.
all right. I think we're going to sign off, everybody. Charlie, you want to do any goodbyes to the people before we get out of here?
Well, the videos were nice. I wasn't at any of the three, but I enjoyed watching what you guys found.
We'll try to invite you next time, John.
But I appreciate the phone call.
Yeah,
He was there. He just didn't find it.
you were there more than you thought.
That's
Charlie.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. You're the one that made the whole hunt worthwhile.
Yeah, without you, like if your voice didn't come through on the phone call, it wouldn't have been half as funny.
Yours and Judy's.
Yeah, you and Judy.
Yeah.
But anyway, I appreciate the weekend. This past weekend, it was a fun time, and I'm anxious to see how things turn out with the upcoming show.
Yeah, we got a lot of good ones coming up. All sorts of man, what a summer it's been so far, and they're still coming
You
up.
remember how the beginning of the summer we were wondering, oh, what are we going to do? We don't have anything lined up, and man, oh man, we can't. There aren't enough weekends.
No, I mean
Well,
just this week we've got a spot which we haven't picked the date yet, but it was owned by Abraham Lincoln's grandfather.
Mordecai Lincoln.
Actually,
Yeah, Mordecai Lincoln. We're not going to. Don't say where it is, the town or the street.
and we have visible proof with a picture of him looking out the window.
Yeah, I can't believe you told me he's got a photo of George Washington. I was like, come on now, listen. I might be gullible, but you do not have a photograph of George Washington.
I hope he was doing it tongue in cheek.
No, and then with a straight face, he said,
Yeah.
"Yeah, you're right. Maybe it's a lithograph." I was like, "You think?"
That's funny. That's funny.
All right, but yeah, Charlie, I'm sorry you didn't make these three, but you're in a whole bunch coming up. So thanks for hanging out with us, though. Rich, Lynn, any final thoughts on the night?
I would just say thanks again to the people that came to see me in New York, and thanks for the laughs on the special video you did with the fart
that was
machine.
Lynn's fart box. Without Lynn's fart box, it wouldn't have happened.
I'll rent it out.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. We said we were bored, so we did that. But we did have an
We had a good day. Yeah.
Well, when I say bored, we were kind of taking a break because it was so hot that day.
Yeah, it was so hot.
So we were in the shade, just sitting down, and so we were bored at that moment from just taking a break. And then I
was going to say earlier, I'm younger. I do dig more holes than these guys do, but there were some days this summer where I had a tough time. I mean, it was 100 degrees. The ground was really hard. And, I didn't dig quite as much on some of those days. The
sun's been kicking our butt, but we're already now in halfway through August. We'll have cooler weather probably in 4 weeks or so. So we made it through another hot season. I missed the farm fields, but I think we had an exceptional summer with amazing houses, amazing property owners, amazing tours of the insides of houses.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
And this week's been great so far because it hasn't been raining and it hasn't been 100 degrees.
Yeah, no,
That's
agree.
all we've been getting.
Oh, Doug, I forgot. I did want to mention real quick. I wanted to give a shout out to our friend Carol Rio. I saw on Facebook she was in the hospital. Not sure what's wrong, but I just want to wish her the best. She's usually in the chat every week. She's the woman that gave me that signed Bette Midler book, and we did the Bette Midler gag. Remember that? Big fan of Carol. So I hope you're doing well. I'll check up on you, in a couple of days and see if you're out. But prayers, Carol. Hope you do well. Doug, any final thoughts before we get out of here for the night?
Nope. Looking forward to.
You see what I got to deal with?
I talk enough?
See you later.
Was there anything you wanted me to say?
Nah,
I mean, I've been talking all night.
Well, that's what I said to you. I think sometimes there's lag. So when I think there was lag, Doug didn't hear me. That's why there was like a delay. But no, it went well. All right, we're going to get out of here. Thank you, everybody who made it. I see Robert Emmons, Niels Cribb, Keith, Sue Ramsey. I'm trying to get some last-minute names in, Doug, that I didn't get earlier. Alan Cleveland. Again, the Key Date Kid, make sure you check him out at excalibur.shovels.com. And you can use the discount code Quarter Barber, I think it was. Quarter Barber. You can email me. You can get a discount any shovel you want. Teresa, the treasure hunter, thank you for moderating all night. Make sure you take care of Charlie next week when he comes out. I want him back in one piece. I need him. He's going to have a good time. And Judy's going too. The lovely Judy going up there. Jay Cook is in the chat. Our good friend Jay Cook.
Wow.
I haven't seen him in a while.
How you doing, Jay?
Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while, but good to see his name up there. Richard B., Stephen Forshee, Kraft Mo Fines. That's a new one. I haven't seen that one. How are you, sir? Sean McAndrew, Amanda Collins, Rich Van Winkle is in the chat. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Rich is a moderator. I'm going to have to demote him soon. Louisiana Mud Dog, everybody. Thank you, guys. But let's get out of here, Doug. I got a little bit of my throat is getting ready to get a little hoarse for the day. And I got a whole lot of editing to do for the big show. Don't forget next week, Green Mountain. That should be a fun one. No, I'm good. All right, let's end this show. What?
Who's going to be on? Who's going to be on?
Brad from Mountain.
Green Mountain.
Oh, yeah. Well, you say Green Mountain. I just say Mountain. Okay. Green Mountain Brad will be on next week. All right, let's get out of here. Thanks for watching, everybody. Happy hunting.
Thank you.
See you on the next one.
Good night.
Everybody enjoy your hunting this week.
Later.